Hi everybody, welcome to Paper Wishes Vlog. I'm Lene Gehrig, and today I've got some wonderful new chipboard from our friends at Scrapbooking. Scrapbooking is a wonderful Polish company and they do amazing chipboard. This one is called Apple Tree Blossoms. This is Apple Tree Blossom Frames chipboard, and this one is Primavera chipboard frames, and this one is Primavera Motifs. This one is Roses chipboard, and this adorable one is In the Forest chipboard. So we're going to show you all kinds of fun things to do with this. Let's take a look at this first page. I like to use chipboard in three ways. I like to use it just as it is, white. I also like to color it, and then also like to put paper behind it occasionally. So on this one, some of it is left white, some of it around the tips here, I just used my blender brush and a little bit of brown ink, and I just colored sort of the tips and tendrils of each one of these. This one is the Apple Blossom, yes, this is the Apple Tree Blossoms chipboard. And the paper pack that I use is the Country Blooms paper pack from Hot Off the Press. And I started by just using my border paper and tearing some of this purple paper on the left side, and then layering some of the cutouts that come in the paper pack, matting my 4x6 photo on chocolate brown cardstock. And then once I just evacuated this corner piece, and then sort of put this little collection of flowers right here, and then took this piece. So this is actually two pieces going up the bottom right side. And then I got to play with that and embellish them, and I use things like, let me find these. Oh, I put them too far away. I used pixie petals. This is Salmon and Twilight pixie petals by 49 and Market, and I put those among the chipboard. And then I also used both purple and copper, and these are Jewel Dazzles, and I like to use an X-Acto knife. Here we have this retractable X-Acto knife, which is great. If you don't have one of these, I would encourage you to pick one of these up. Paper Wishes. It's great because they retract and you don't happen to set it down. It doesn't fall off your table and almost land on your foot, which has happened to me several times. So when you're done using it, you can just retract that, and it's very safe. And so we just use the retractable knife just to pick up those dazzles and then place them at the center here, and it makes it much easier. And as you can see, then it just gives everything a nice little shimmer on there. There we go. And here on this particular card, we see if we can zoom in a little bit, Steve. I like to color them. Now, this particular one is a Primavera frames, and I took one of the Primavera frames and then also from the motifs here. And this one had some flowers and a butterfly on it. And this is Butterfly Meadows paper pack that's new from Hot Off the Press, and that just really spoke to me to use this. And I find that when evacuating these, there's a couple of little tabs on each side of the chipboard, and you just find those little tabs and you just sort of do your push-pull right at where those tabs are, and I find that then they just come out really easily. Another one right here, like that. And I'm going to get my little craft mat here, and I just used some daubers, a little dauber set here, which is great to be able to just reuse those colors. And I also used some, let me see if I can find those. Well, I used some Post-it notes, which I oddly look like I brought. So I'm just going to use a little piece of paper. And so by using my dauber and my little Post-it note, I found that I could cover the large areas with the surface. This is the green and yellow Cat IQ. And I wanted the outside sort of circle or square to be a natural color, and the same color as the leaves and vines and tendrils. This. Okay, and then when I got to this portions where I had blossoms, I just took my little scrap of paper, my little Post-it note, and I just covered that, I masked that, and went right over it like this. And then when I had smaller areas, here we go, took my purple, like this, and my dauber, and just went over those areas like that. And then when I wanted to give it a little more depth, add a little darker purple, you could use the same dauber for this. That. It's got a little bit of half one color and half the other. And then I just kept doing that and adding different colors to my flowers. And I found it was a very easy way to do that. So here I've covered them with the purple and also the blue cat eye cue and the green and yellow, and then added one of the cutout butterflies. And this is the Inside Out Dazzle collection, where you can break up the sentiment here, and You Make Me and Smile. And I tore just the bottom edge of another piece of the paper from Butterfly Meadow, and I just put assembled everything on the top and then just ran that right along the bottom edge so that it kind of grounded this piece. It just wasn't just floating there. For this last card, I really thought that the In the Forest guys were so cute, and I wanted to feature those by backing them with different pieces of just plain cardstock. But first I wanted to have the wreath, so I've got the All Seasons oval wreath, and then I used the fern and the flowers right here, and I colored some of them there were yellow flowers, and I colored them with red ink, and then some red cardstock as well. And then when it came to my little creatures, I backed the little raccoon with some black and some gray cardstock, and the owl as well. And then when I got to the little eyes, they sort of had these sort of vacant little stares, so I just took a black pen and I just added some eyes there and gave them a little bit more definition. But when you're paper piecing on the back of these, this is what it'll look like. Here's one of the roses. And what I did was I just went ahead and added some glue to the back of whichever piece I was going for. And this is just Cosmic Shimmer Specialist Acrylic Glue. And then I would just put that right there, wherever I wanted to feature whichever color. And then little scissors is always nice to have. And then I would just cut as close to the chipboard as I can without cutting into it. There we go. And I just continued to do that for each little piece. It went really quickly, and then once these pieces were all backed with paper, then I either glued them directly to the surface. I should mention that this is a wood embossing folder, also from hot off the press, and it's just made from craft cardstock, and then I just went over the surface of that with a brown ink pad to give it a little color difference, then added the wreath, then added my little floral thing, and then when I put my little creatures on, I just either glued these little mushrooms, I glued directly to the surface, and then I foam taped these pieces on. I've got some nice dimensions. Little tiny words and phrases, dazzle stickers right there, and I was all set to go. So we've got a great money saver on this, and if you're watching us on our vlog page, you just need to take a peek on the right side of our page. You'll notice that there is a photo there, and that's where it says the money saver. You click on that photo, it'll take you to the money saver page. And then also below our video, you'll see a link to the gallery where you can see all of the projects, color photos of those, so that you can click on them and get the full supply list. And also below that are all the links and the photos to all the products that were used if you want to buy them individually. So make sure you definitely take a look at that. We always include our tools and our glue and our adhesive and things like that. So thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.